Welcome to used truck dealer Walker Movements, who have one of the largest selection of used trucks in all of Europe. I'm here today to show you a really robust, no-nonsense used truck, the MAN TGX. Launched in 2007 as a successor to the TGA, it initially had Euro 4 versions of its D20 and D26 engines that didn't require AdBlue. The TGX was then upgraded to Euro 5 in 2009 when MAN continued to drive home the benefits of its EGR-only engines for the lower power models. Power ratings range from 400 horsepower with a 10.5 litre engine right through to 680 horsepower from a 16.2 litre V8. Although this 480 horsepower engine does need AdBlue, it does tend to offset the cost with better fuel consumption than the 400 or 440 horsepower models. Those good fuel returns were largely due to the 12-speed ZF automated gearbox, which MAN called Tipmatic, and was standard on the TGX from the very beginning. The low revs of the engine and its high torque also meant you could comfortably pull away without too much strain. If you still think you need a manual gearbox though, MAN did make the TGX available with a 16-speed option. In fact, the engine lineup for the TGX did get a little confusing, as the German manufacturer chopped and changed between EGR and SCR engines to meet the emissions levels between three different size engines. To keep it simple, there's EGR-only versions of 400 horsepower and 440 horsepower engines, which use the 10.5 litre and 12.4 litre engines, and then SCR versions of 400, 440, 480 and 540 units. Not forgetting the 680 horsepower V8, which at Euro 5 was quite rare in the UK. I hope you're as confused by that as I am. But if you do need to know more, the expert staff at Walker Movements will be able to help you. What I'll tell you for now though is that this is the D26 12.4 litre 480 horsepower version with 2,300 Newton meters of torque. This TGX 26 480 6x2 tractor unit has an XLX cab and was built in 2013. It has drive axle air suspension as well as an air suspended mid-lift axle, which is a popular option for African countries. The turbo air-cooled engine meets Euro 5 emissions regulations, and this particular truck has covered 821,000 kilometers. It has a sliding fifth wheel with run-up ramps, aluminium fuel tanks and catwalk, and a full air deflector kit with side extensions. Walker Movements carefully selects all of its trucks from a range of UK operators, rent and leasing companies and specialist agents. They buy all of their trucks for stock, which means they're confident of their quality and they know that they're going to appeal to the buyers. They also have their own workshops just over there, which means this truck will be ready to start work when it hits the road. The TGX was originally introduced as a facelift to the TGA, which came in many versions. No, it came in all versions. But what MAN did was split the range in half, with a smaller TGS in a narrow cab, and this, the TGX, a bigger 2.4 metre wider version. It sits higher on the chassis, which means it improves the visibility, and it also reduces the size of the engine hump inside the cab. There are three roof heights available: XL, XLX and XXL, which is confusing to say, but it does give you more headroom as you go up through each of those. This is the XLX, which is the most popular version in the UK. Now, when MAN introduced the TGX as a replacement for the TGA, they basically kept the same design, but they did change the grille and introduce this new aerodynamic feature on the A-pillar. They also changed the wing mirror design to help improve fuel economy, reduce drag and lower wind noise. Walker Movements has this sort of truck in stock all the time, with similar specification and mileage to this one. While every truck is different, these guys know what to look for in a good quality used truck. So let's see what this one is like on the road. So, as you can see, it does have a really low engine hump, which is great because it doesn't actually hinder you with cross-cab access at all, but it does mean that if you want to put something in that footwell, it's not going to slide across over this side, which I think is great. Another thing I really like is the buttons. They're just really simple. They're basic, but that's a good thing. It's obviously got an adjustable steering wheel and an air suspended driver's seat, and the bunk is also great because it's actually got an insert at the back there, which makes it a lot wider than most of its rivals. In terms of storage, well, there's a second bunk in this one, so that can be used for some storage. But we've got three really good overhead lockers and a couple of trays here. And this drawer is huge, great. And there's another one just there. So the TGX is available with a range of engines, different horsepowers, but this is the 480, which is possibly a little bit more than most people would go for a basic tractor unit in the UK. Tend to have about 10 horsepower per tonne, so somewhere around 440. But that extra 40 horsepower does give you quite a bit more power, and there's also loads and loads of torque. Automatic gearboxes are actually really reliable these days. People are a little bit afraid of them, but there's really no need to be. They change quickly, and you can actually do shifts manually if you really wanted to, but there's no need at all. They're so slick and smooth. There's a gear change. Did you notice? I didn't. So one of the other things I really like about this cab is the visibility. You sit really quite far forward, which means you've got a really good view all around you. Perhaps the wing mirror is a little bit too big, but actually for a cab of its age, I think it's probably got one of the best visibilities on the market. If you're a UK customer, Walker Movements will test the truck and get it ready for the road. But if you're buying from overseas, they're able to do all the paperwork and ship it to any port in the world. They've got years of experience in selling trucks here, and it really shows in the sort of vehicles on offer. Their experienced mechanics carry out a visual inspection on every truck and are then professionally valeted inside and out. I think the TGX is a really underrated truck. It drives really well and has a great, strong engine. It's practical and it's comfortable as well. It also has great visibility, and even though it's based on a truck design that's nearly 20 years old, it still looks the part as well. I think you can do a lot worse than a TGX. If you want to see more of the great range of trucks on offer at Walker Movements, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more videos and fantastic used truck deals.